Ooh, what's up? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another session of Coffee and Martial Arts. Salud, salud, salud. Cheers. Coffee, it's really good this morning. And so it's our podcast today. We have an amazing guest today with us, and it's going to be really good. We have here connected live from Arizona, from Phoenix. Okay, we have from the Desert Dragons Academy, Professor Scott Gonzalez. Hello, sir.
You guys, good to see you. How you doing, sir?
Good. Thank you for accepting the invitation. Thank you for being here. It's nice to have you here. We're gonna have a good time. Let me just check on my connections here and make sure everything is going well. I think it is. Okay. If you want to share your stuff, but anyway, let's start with first of all, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you so much for asking out there. Yeah, been healthy. Been beautiful days here, and happy to be open as far as schools go. Kids are healthy, family's healthy, and yourself?
I'm doing good. Thank you, sir. We're doing fine. So where are you at right now?
I'm here at Desert Dragons, pretty much my home base here in Phoenix, Arizona. So I'm on that northwest corner at the studio. So place where I train, things setting up seminars here. We call it the Emerald Room, and those that are familiar with the place that come here find it a place of healing. So you come here to, right now, and this time especially, you'll find a lot of healing out here. Being here, connecting with people again, in a safe environment, of course. But it's been nice sharing the family. So
Great. Where's your studio at, sir? Exactly.
it's just off of Lake Pleasant and Happy Valley, so that very northwest corner of Phoenix out there. Probably about 10 years ago, I was the furthest business north in this area. But when I moved here, it was just to raise my family. Moved out of LA, so went from very populated to, hey, honey, I can hear a car coming down the road. And then over this last decade, this place is filled in. I got schools on both sides of me now. Instead of driving 10 miles for gas and milk, it's everything's around us. So yeah, it's a really great area. It's booming, but still really retains its beauty out here. So I still got my view of monsoon storms rolling through at the back windows. So yeah, very fortunate.
Nice. Good. Let me see. We have some comments already. Anthony Angulo says, "Good morning, gentlemen." Good morning, Anthony.
Greet you, sir.
Okay, let's just make the announcements here. We are going live through our fan page of International Hall of Fame from Argentina. Okay, so a big hello, hola, para toda la gente de Argentina. Hello. And also going live through my fan page. You can look at Master Frank Soto or Kinetic Dragon. And we're also going through YouTube through the Kinetic Dragon page as well. Look for the Kinetic Dragon tutorials and you'll find it there. Okay, Carlos Zamora says, good morning. Morning, Carlos.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, so every time we start with somebody with a new guest like yourself, could you please give us a little bit of background of who you are in martial arts, just briefly, just to the guys that are watching to get to know you, please?
Okay, yeah, I started with Rick Jeffcoat back in 1990. Used to walk down the back alley out there. He had a 2-car garage in this apartment, and it was back before insurance policies, waivers, and all that. So you just go back there. It's kind of old school Kenpo. And we go back out there, and that's where I started formulating my training. He'd ping me a lot, quite violently, but in a very educational way. And I had probably about 2 years there. I was introduced to Grandmaster Larry Tatum in his garage as well. I'm like, wow, Kenpo's a really cool art. everyone does it in these garages. Larry's is like the greatest garage ever. So
Those were the days, huh? Those were the days.
Tested for my purple belt in his garage. So that was
Wow.
just an honor out there. And then shortly after that, he opened Green Street Studio. So I was his very first student at the Green Street Studio. Rick was his instructor. And
which year was this? 93, 92?
Yeah, it was 92, 93. I'm never uber clear with those out there. For me, it was just a long sequence, just keep training every day. So I never really marked calendars that way. But yeah,
Okay.
it was the very opening day. I was there, very first student, very first class he had out there.
Amazing.
Yeah, I watched that. It's I remember some of our dialogues. He'd call me out there, Scotty. One day this place is going to be packed, and I'm like, all right, And I went from garages, where you just got this really intimate, violent training to this beautiful studio, pads. You got mirrors everywhere. The French doors. Just Pasadena just had a vibe at that time too. Really, really rich environment. And you're familiar with that too, having been there for a number of years. It sounded like as well. So yeah. I was just there on that first thing out there. So we just keep the French doors open and be training out there. It's just a magical, magical time out there. And sure enough, after that first year, you saw his studio just fill out there. His personality, the skill sets out there. Rick Jeffco was just astounding skill sets as well, but just built this community going out there. We had Masood, he was rolling in there teaching at the time. So it's really great Kenpoists there.
Wow.
Continue that when Rick Jeffco decided to part ways and open his own place. I continued with Rick, because that started with his garage out there. And then, I didn't have a bad falling out with Grandmaster Larry. It was friendly. We've always been great friends since that period of time. Just had a warm relationship. Just continued the training out there. In 2005, I moved out here and wanted to be the first one in this community out here. And I had the vision of the studio, a vision of how I wanted to teach, and drawing from the different communities out there of what my studio should look like, that feel. I trained a couple of years with Brian Hawkins' studio out there, so give them a little shout out there, and saw just the old school community that he retained, and not so much retained, but stays in that jewel of his West LA studio. Sitting on some of those boards out there, you got 50 black belts. It's astounding to me that people they wanted a place to go to that was kind of a home, and that's instilled here too. Green Street Studio was a home. That studio was a home, and I wanted that here with the really incredible training along with it. So
very nice.
Fast forward 3 years later, here we are.
Beautiful. We have more comments. Maestro Scott Higgins says, "Good morning, Sensei Scott and Frank." Good morning. Yeah, Scott is in Hawaii right now.
Yeah, I know. Very formulative. He was one of the men used to crash my place, surfing, training Kenpo, but really one of my models coming up there of what I could achieve and where I'd want to go with it. So we've had some incredible dialogues, strong friendship over these years. So yeah, great.
Scott was also one of the instructors back on the Green Street Studio, right?
Oh, yes. That's where my introduction to him came, and it was just our friendship started there, and we've had 2 decades plus of probably almost 3 now, Scott. Thinking of that, but a lot of years together. But seeing the way he moved, the way he thought about Kenpo, the science of it, he was great at articulating it, speaking, not just do this move, but explaining the whys, the hows.
Right.
And he'd come out there. I remember him calling out. My wife was one of his students too at the Green Street, and he's like, "What are you doing? We just want to practice." "No, you're not. There's a class going on. Get in class." So if an instructor's on that thing, you're in the class, and he set the tone, and I love that. It's even to this day. It's
beautiful. Catherine Catherine Sumter says, "Good morning, Master Frank and Professor Scott. Wow, nice studio."
Thank you,
man, you have a beautiful place there. Let's see. Let's check it out. Yeah, that's a nice place you got there, man.
Got it out here. Just give you some views. Looking out my back window, we have just the beautiful desert view. So I've had that since I've opened here. So that's this being my second home. I wanted a place that was tranquil for me. Brought a lot of life to it. So thank you. I appreciate you.
Nice. Very nice. We have Maestro Damien Abbott, all the way from England, saying, when I think back to the conversation we shared in that Sierra Madre bar, I can't quite believe the things we've since done together, Mr. Gonzalez. It's absolutely one of the nicest gentlemen in the art, and he's exactly that, a gentleman. Wow, thank you.
Sir, greatly appreciate that. Yeah, we've had a very nice friendship since that period of time out there. So he was one of the instrumental ones of he's doing the calling. And I know Mr. Angelo was talking about that last time too. And that formulated there from the Sierra Madre. We trained together. I love the way he moved. Master Tatum was teaching at the time. I called him as my partner out there, and we ran a class together and just knocked the crap out of each other with the different skill sets. It was just absolutely beautiful. Had a beverage as you do afterwards and the dialogue. And then it was that following year, he invited me out to Exeter for the international seminar. He goes, I'll provide the space. You decide what you want to do with it. And then you kind of got the travel going out there and that seminar kicking off out there. So big shout out to him and a big thank you. Tremendous amounts of friendships have come since then. So
there it is.
Yep, the very first seminar out there. A little lighting it up there. Yeah, that was an absolute delight out there.
Nice.
Yeah, that particular day, if you haven't been to one of his seminars, it's a whole event. It's not just the Kenpo. But that particular day, we took 2 trains, went all the way down to Dartmouth, took 2 boats, went and saw one of the oldest castles there sitting in the English Channel, ate fish and chips with Donnie Jeffcoat, and one of the oldest, or actually one of the original pubs in Dartmouth. Took the trains back, and he goes, unfortunately, our time's a little shorter than I thought. So you're going on in 40 minutes. All right. We ran upstairs, showered up there, dropped down there. It's my first international seminar, and he introduced me, and things started from there. So it was just fantastic energy, a lot of fun. So
beautiful, beautiful. Kenpo Art says, good morning. Great to see you both. Good morning.
Greetings.
Yeah. Kim Dahl says, hello from Copenhagen, Denmark. Nice.
Hey.
Nice. Angela Lanell Cooper Magnamy. Hi, Angie. Hey, guys.
Are just a wonderful lady. Thank you for sharing your Huntington Beach photos all the time and your experience out there. You bring me home all the time and help settle my soul with the ocean there, young lady.
Nice. Master Guru Kurt Javelin says, good morning. Let's see.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, Sensei. Good morning. Good morning, sir. Okay, so let me check here. Okay, so so you've been teaching there for what, 15 years, you said, right?
Yes, yeah. 2005 till now.
Wow, 15, 16 years almost, right? Amazing. And what has you, that's your first studio that you opened, your first commercial studio?
Yes, yeah. So it's, yeah, vision wanted to be the first in this area. I knew nothing had grown up here yet, so I wanted to be thought of a martial arts studio. I wanted to be the one they thought of. I wanted one that carried its class. On my wall back there, you probably see in the very back above that red bag, it's our oak tree, or one act of kindness. And that's kind of our mantra here, our why is one act, treat people kindly. Well, I have the tools to protect that kindness. So yeah, so I've been going.
Nice. Can you share a little bit about your experience running the studio? You know,
yes.
Any stories?
Yeah, I was fortunate to be surrounded by people that came here. They really enjoyed the Kenpo part of it, but each of them had like tools. Being a bit spiritual, I always think of God up there providing the assistance I needed as I was going along these doorsteps out there. But I needed technical help. We had Kevin Hill was one of my very first students, and he wrote our first webpage. He was just sitting there in the back patio or the back foyer out there, and he just tapped it out there. He goes, okay, I created a webpage for you. I'm like, what? So it was those things out there. I had the vision as far as what I wanted the colors to look like, and then people do those things. And it's built as a team and as a family, because the people that are here are very invested in their community in those mats, and they protect it with a sanctity. I had Dean Newell was teaching me as far as leadership, how to shape classes, and I have all the background from Grandmaster Larry, from Rick Jeffcoat, Brian Hawkins, and seeing all those things, but being able to draw from all that for how I wanted the studio to go. The part I was missing is kind of the business side. I was a restaurant manager, so I understood how to run an operation, but those guys are really facilitated as far as tools go. Then as the instruction started growing, the instruction crew, they started evolving so I could grow even more. So yeah, there was a lot that as far as that came about to keep this going. We still have some of the original pictures out there where the room was just, some paint on the walls and some heavy bags, but it's really the spirit of the people that come here that help build it. So yeah, as it's gone through it out there, Miss Erin out there, she'd run my desk. I'll volunteer. Let me run the desk out there. I've got skills there. The marketing people different ones that come through here and just give suggestions or help me out. So it really was not just an individual, but it was, my family, my wife, because she was having to, watch things too. We had 2 young kids at the time. Her trusting in me was one of the bigger things out there. So I think you having your own studio there, taking care of the queen at home, and we had some rough patches. There's days where you had to sell a T-shirt. Hey, honey, I sold a T-shirt. We got food tonight. So it was that leak there for a while, and then to look at where we're at now, I haven't gone through with this particular pandemic. A lot of people are like, I'm glad 2020 is gone. I'm like, it was challenging, but I saw a lot of growth, and I had more family time than I've had in years. Time with my wife, time with my kids. And I still was able to migrate here with the help of Chris DeLuca. He's in the back out here. Mr. Michael Kellogg helped me assist with classes. We started going to the online format out there. So coming from LA, all these little skill sets are kind of on the way, camera angles, how to shape classes, how to maintain interest. My daughter is doing anything from environmental kicks. I mean, we did everything out of it. Tacking out of chairs, using stuffed animals, kicking around objects. Like my daughter can put a kick on anything, anywhere. Just from that period of time, my son learned how to do cameras, and we went from holding a phone to got an iPad. We got a TV up now. I've got Zoom classes going. So those that we have people that come in from different parts of the country now can join us. So yeah, it was a really strong growth area, and I really feel like it brought people together. It brought the earth took a sigh, and we got to connect again. And Kenpo was really the thread line out there. You probably saw it too through this format you're doing. How many lives you start connecting with when it's just outside the immediate studio itself. And you realize how your threads have gone. That's one of the beauties of this particular year, this past year, being thankful for that. So.
Yep, agree. Yeah. This has been actually, the fact. I mean, I've been doing stuff on the internet, on social media for many years, but the difference now is that our people are watching. I mean, we don't really have a choice. We didn't have a choice last year. This year probably it's going to get better. We hope so. But last year, everybody had to go in, so that's why we started this. That's why we're having this conversation basically right now.
And you and I haven't crossed paths. Like I've known about you forever. Your name's just tied in with kindness and skill. Just a great. We look at ambassadors out there as you go up. You want some key ambassadors in the art to show others how it should look, how you should conduct yourself. And that's one of the neat growths. You doing this out here, you've been an ambassador, and kind of you want to draw on there. People want to visit you now and see what you're sharing. And the fact you can now drop in their living rooms and they can train. I'm stressed for time. Let me just pop on this. I'm in there joining it right now. So the fact we're in Exeter, Denmark, California.
Right. And we have somebody saying hello from New York right now. Maestro Frank Vigorius. Yeah. Big hug for you both.
And another one of those tremendous friendships that came there. Mr. Vigoro was I got to meet him at the Calling, and the first year, just you kind of see the skill set. And he'd take time just talk and have that personal moment with me, and we dialogued a lot there. And then we got to spend 3 years together now, and to see that friendship really bloom because of events like this. The commonality being the Kenpo, the language, but that's what allows us to come together. Another man that's absolutely one of the dignitaries we have, the ambassadors for Kenpo. Incredible skill set. Honored to be a friend.
Yeah, he was here in the show yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah, we had a good time. You know, I've known Frank since '97, I believe. Actually, in the Green Street studio.
Yeah, he was out there too for a little while you were out there, right?
Yep. I was there when he came in for the first time. Yeah, nice man.
I just
Yes.
like just that pocket, that transitional year where we left, or Rick and myself and some of his students out there, and then you guys rolled into that neck just right in that little
Right.
tiny spot out there. Yeah.
Yeah, we were there. I got there the first time in '96. You were already gone. I heard about, Rick, of course. I was expecting to see Rick because when I started, the first thing I saw from Mr. Tatum was the Panther production videos, right? And in those videos, well, you had to say thank you, Rick, right? So Rick here, helped me out, and he was an amazing uke. He was just phenomenal. He made the man look amazing, and I mean, now I understand how important it is to have a good uke that allows you to show
those little subtle transitions you do, and never took from the camera. Just okay, I'm in the spot for you, setting the angles up there. It's not that he wouldn't have got there, but just really just a brilliant package out there.
Yeah, and then the first thing you think is this guy must be really good. Usually you get that vibe from the uke, because first of all you're one of the close guys to the maestro, to the teacher, right, to the instructor, and also just the fact that you're getting hit and you're because you're seeing or feeling the other side of the art. I mean, it really helps you out. I was Mr. Tatum's uke for a while as well. And it was a tremendous experience. Yes.
Different energy. It's a different energy when you got these incredibly skilled masters of motion, understanding this art, and when they start relaying that to you, it's when they say to feel is to believe, it really is. And it's for some of the newer ones out there that if you're coming up, and this is I talk a lot of yellow belts when I do seminars, because they're the important ones too. I want them to come to the front. They're usually scared by the black belts up there. I make them always come to the front of my seminars out there. Sit up here. You guys need to be here. Hear this. The others have felt this, but when you feel that energy out there and you understand what you're able to deliver, and this is what you're seeking out there. Anthony refers to it as seeking gold, and you'll find those nuggets out there. But we seek that. This last calling, I got to share with Frank Figueroa and Damian Abbott. I asked Frank some questions out there. I wanted to feel some of the aspects out there. And he just put some nice lightning in me. And I'm like, okay, as he's dialoguing, really defining what he was talking about there. And then to feel it in action, it's a whole different animal, People talk to I'm like, yeah, well, what if that actually, that lightning gets a hold of you? So.
Right. Yeah. And, I've also heard about you before, and I've seen some of the videos that you put up there and YouTube and stuff. And one of the things that I like is you have this street approach. I'm always looking for that realism in Kenpo, because that's the guys that were closer to the source, closer to the golden years of Kenpo. I mean, you started right after, I guess. You started what, 1990 or a little after Mr. Parker's passing?
Yes. I think
91.
Yeah, when I started out there, it's I think it was right before he passed, because they were working at the time. I was bartending too, to put myself in there and then pay for the everything going on out there. But it was The Perfect Weapon was being filmed, and actually the young lad, that actor that played his younger self, was one of my regulars, and I was already I'm like, Ed Parker? I'm like, no, because there was no internet.
Right.
I didn't hear anything like that. So I'm like, and to be honest, back then, when you're a young lad, you're like, I was 24, 25 at the time. I didn't really care. I don't care about hit. Show me how to hit better. Can I move faster? And it's like, that's great and all that. I love history, but not right now. Can we just train? So I never really explored history until I was in the art for quite some time. When I went down to Brian Hawkins, I started seeing the photos and realizing the Ed Parker aspect out there,
Right.
and, speaking about Ed or Mr. Parker, I should say, and his influence on him. I had like little moments of those, but it never really registered. I think I was just too young and obsessed with the speed and the power of it.
Understand. Yes. John Ward, Master John Ward, Maestro, hola to you both. Oh, hello, all the way to Ireland. Mr. Ward is going to be with us in a couple of weeks. And also, Richard Matthews. Hey. Nice.
So good to see you out there.
Yeah, we're going to have Mr. Matthews as well here in the show. Damien is going to be here as well. So yeah, we have a lot of people coming in. I'm very grateful, and I'm very grateful to have you here right now. Jerry Ramos says, saludos, Maestro Soto, felicitaciones y éxitos a ambos. Hello, greetings, and success to you both. Thank you, sir. Nasim Holmes, greetings all the way from South Africa. Hey, hello, Nasim. Thank you, Maestro. Okay, so, sir, I know that you have this approach, realistic approach of Kenpo, and I've, from the little work that I've seen from you, in videos and stuff, but because I'm always watching everything on social media that says Kenpo, I'm always looking for more Kenpo stuff, and I'm always looking and I really enjoy watching, and when I get to good material, I'm like, yeah, right. And we all get ideas and stuff like that. And like you said, putting yourself out there in social media also makes you an ambassador. So you're also doing that work, not just your studio, and one of the things that I like is that approach that there's a video that you do in a parking lot, somebody attacking you right next to a car. I guess it is right. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, and I know you have your students there that could, help you. Would you like to share something of your approach to Kenpo?
Sure, that'd be an honor out there. So, Michael, Chris, you'd be kind enough to roll out.
I mean, I see them standing there waiting, so it's
they are. Let me introduce you guys. Let's see. I'll roll that up a little bit.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah. So this is Chris and Michael. They've started their journey here. Chris actually started here with his wife. Checked it out first, and she was looking to see what kind of martial arts she wanted to do. She checked out a bunch of studios out here, and Chris is supporting her. Whatever she chose, he was going to join. We've now had, I think it's 7 years together out there. Mr. Wow. Kellogg right behind over here. He started with his son. So his son got going out there. He fell in love with it, wanted to support his son. So his son has since stopped, got to his brown belt. And this young lad out here behind me has continued his journey. Once that great addiction of Kenpo hit, he's like, it's okay if the kid stops, I'm staying. So that beauty has continued on there. So yeah, it's an honor to have both these guys out here. So they've shared quite a bit of time with me. So yeah, I'll look at if you want, I'll just give a couple of ideas out here. Looking at two-mans, the challenge I've seen with two-mans is it's too static, and there's places to explore it. On the framework, I think to teach it, the framework's really important. But bodies start moving, and then things change really quickly. So I look at the strategy on that very first move, and then you start assessing what you want to do after that.
Interesting, yeah.
And on how they hit out there. So,
and we usually don't explore the two-mans that much. It's just more like an introductory that we get out of the curriculum, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's I think again it starts the dialogue, and the thing you always have is you got the 12 and the 6. You got them off the 3 and the 9, but there's very rare where you find different angles of stuff out there. So I'll start out just a little bit of Falcons of Force as kind of an idea here. I'm going to put this on there for safety's sake. This will be live, so if any virus flies in the air, we'll try and keep it in this room.
Good. I like that.
I'll bring the boys up here. So Falcons of Force. The beauty of Chris is Chris really digs in a lot. He's on this side out here, so I'm going to ask him not to quite dig so hard, so I don't have to ping him quite as much. But so Falcons of Force, traditionally, again, as you know, shoulders grab, you step and stomp. I don't go for the throat initially when I teach because I'm looking for a little body reaction. And I know you can absolutely do that drop and hit, so you've got those spots out there. I've got my stomp on his foot. But I start looking at, I want to impact his body and his hips. I want to get him out of there. And I want to stay relaxed when I'm doing it. I've got this as my concern too. So the static version would be coming over, stepping up and chopping, face kick, and you start moving out. So is that okay frame-wise?
Yeah, that looks amazing. Yes.
Okay, cool. So when I start looking at it is I love the first two moves, and then where do I decide to go after that? And it's kind of based on what reactions I've created. Is he responding? You probably notice when you do two-man techniques, you get your first moves in, and then everyone stands like you're chasing forward, you're chasing back, and you're looking to finish the sequence, but this no longer really fits based on their position. So I don't know where they're going to end up. We'll see. Good. Release again. So when we look at street application, it's first one touches, first one gets hit. Start firing. Out there, working. I start clearing my lines. So you look to get them offline. The first part worked really nicely. I got my smoke. The second part I started breaking down, so I got that shot up there. So that's where I started looking, where do I need to transition? Where do I need to migrate based on how they responded?
Right.
So when we turn up there. Oh, he grabbed first, right? I'm getting away, yeah. I'm not even waiting now. Got your shot up. You're looking for those, so keep coming. So look at how you set stacks. I like the idea with this technique because you get space, and then I'm looking to create angles for stacking. How to get them up there, how to get them to buckle, get a clear shot where I'm protected. So that would be like a Falcons of Force move. Grasping Eagles. Just a simple thing out there.
Right.
Again, we start the base piece with the two grabs out there. I need to start from zero and get going. You got your shot yet. But when you start, things I look at is, can I create an angle on the first move? So as we start going, I'm already moving. I'm not waiting. Now I know the base piece would teach, stay here and fire, but you should have some sense of something's coming, either through the eyes, intuition, those things. So if I just start moving, and you start working spots, good, one more time. Good shot. Good, got him up there. You cool? So you start working on the reactions out there, and you can start migrating based on how those reactions go. So I take parts from her microcosms of positional recognition on different techniques. Conquering shield. And then if I look at conquering shield, I got the two guys over here. If I stay here and just do it, Chris has a clear doorway in. If I drop my weight, conquer. I can start working those out here. You start working your angles on it. So things like that I look for once I have the piece of how to start just a little bit of movement on the front end. He's coming that way, I roll out. If he swings the opposite way, turn him in. So I got him shots. I can keep coming, Chris. Okay, you got those shots out here. Yeah, I got him right there. My head was in the camera angle. So little ways kind of playing with it, just looking at the two-mans, but I love them as explorations. That first move, the strategy. Grasping Eagles, just one more time with the strategy from the phase. If he's fused, is everything's tight on both sides. Slide out just a little bit for camera. There you go. Good. It's the rotation. I got to use short range rotation to start creating my expansion. So it's tight to open up and elongate your weapon. That I absolutely love the strategies on those things. What it's teaching is these little micro spots, which I go full range, hit the outer perimeter rather than just outer rim strikes, and then build. So that's a couple out there.
Beautiful.
Gentlemen. Yeah. So
Thank you, Chris and Mike.
Thank you.
you guys, awesome job. Everything okay?
Yes, sir.
I was just checking the groins. I got a couple of them. So
Great. So we have more comments here.
yeah.
Angela says, I will definitely hold the fort down for you at Sunset Beach.
Oh, that beach is beautiful. Yes.
Nice. Renson Quintero Castro, saludos desde Medellín, Antioquia, Colombia. So, saying hi from Medellin. Nice. El Bimi says it's the Super Dragon. Wow. Nice. A lot of people like you, my friend. Good. Master Juan Martín Álvarez says, excellent. Greetings from Argentina. Saludos. Carlos Zamora says, wow, nice moves.
Thank you, sir. Carlos. Appreciate it.
Gracias, Carlos. Richard Matthews says, breaking the timing on the attackers. Excellent.
Good. Thank you, sir. Yeah. We had some nice dialogues in England this last time, so that's great.
Nice, nice. Damien says, and not one neutral bow to be seen. Therein lies the lesson.
Right?
I don't know. I saw a couple at least.
Yeah. The transitions out there, it's, finding your energy from those spots out there. It's the organic ones.
Maxine Emmy says, hello from White Sox. What, Pennsylvania, is it?
Pennsylvania, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Nice. Hello. Thank you for being here. Richard says, let's see. Oops. Richard says, the origin of committed action is harder to detect when the body is in motion. Nice. Thank you. Yeah. Kim says, like that word, position recognition. Okay. You want to say more about position recognition, sir?
Yeah, I can actually I'll share just a little bit about it. Can I borrow one of you two gentlemen? Or both? I have them both. Positional recognition, the way I teach out here is I'll teach on the front end is the base sequence. So everyone understands we come from a common platform. The extensions all have a sequence that you're running. And within those sequences, they're specific to positions of how the attack is, but they're kind of strapped within those sequences. So what I like to do is we'll teach a sequence so you know the extension, you know the technique. But then what I do is I'll look at what position are they in, and then can I select a different sequence based on a better spot. And I'll just kind of explain that as we go into this. Chris, I'm going to put you on camera if you wouldn't mind, just so you can see my feet.
Can I easily flip this?
So, yeah, looking down there, so you have to roll it over. Yeah, there you go, good. So, for those that are familiar with Raining Claw, my cameraman's having a challenge on it. That's okay. All right. Stay right there. Good. You can set it down. Yeah, it'll be awkward right there. So, Raining Claw, we know. Extension 2, 3, hit. Neutral bow, Damien. Chris is missing my legs. That's all. Look. So I got, again, you got your forward bow out there, that snap right up off the chest plate. And
right.
Again, these out here. Now I look at this guy, really have some skills. So when I'm doing these extensions, the 1, 2, if he clears my hand, I've got my 3 up and under. So I'm looking for those out there. And we start picking those up there. Positional recognition would be, I'm just going to flip the order over here. Where this arm attacks me. If he gets low and goes around the waist, I go over and break. If it's above the elbow, I go under and get to the backside. And now you got your snap through. There's your break, snap. Neutral, forward. I'm just doing some neutrals for Damien. Fresh, catch those knees.
Where is the camera?
Well, you'll see, come back over here. So on here, what I'm recognizing, I got my bracing angle on the strike. And I've got this arm, it's monitoring. If he goes around the waist, we got to tackle. If he shoots for the leg, I'm going to have to adjust on the fly there. So I got to figure out what position this arm's in there based on my rotation. So if I catch here and I got him going high, I can slip under it and get above it. You got that spot here. If I can't, he's too low on it, I go over it. and come right here. His elbow's bent really tight for the tackle. If I open up his bicep, you've got the break. So you can start that position out here because I know I'm on top of it now. If he's shooting for the leg out there, these are where we start looking at your range. And I start conjuring catching. So you'll start picking those up there. So they'd be based on what position height-wise that particular one out there.
Right.
Another example might be, which is I think we all know this one. When you do the sweep, we've got choices. I can buckle. If he's turning for a punch, I can kick that. Oops, sorry. I can kick that leg out there. You can just cross out and switch sweep based on how he's responding. So these are positions and looking at how his body is reacting to me. So I don't just base it on what the sequence says. I base it on, did they drop him? Is he really tight? Is this leg tighter for me? So on that tight one, I've got an ankle, he's out. And each of the extensions have taught us a position in that one category. That's how I look at it, the cross behinds. Is that making sense?
Yes, yes, definitely.
So, well, yeah, those would be kind of as far as positional recognition. You'll see it with the punches. Each thing has a kind of position we're looking at. But we've been taught a nice vocabulary, and then it's kind of isolating the vocabulary.
I have another question going from there. So the extensions, you know, I hear some people saying that the extensions don't work or they're just busy work. I've heard those are the things that I've heard, right? I'm not saying I agree. But anyway, what would you say, because I see you like extension, I like them too. What do you say that they teach differently than the you know, just the base techniques? Why do we have an extension and what is it giving to the advanced student?
Great dialogue. Do we got a couple hours to talk? No. The extensions, I think, and again, this is from my perspective out here and the way I look at it, they start introducing the quarter beat timing, how to fill these gaps that we're not aware of. If you take it to a purple belt or blue belt, you know, say leaping crane, for example. Leaping crane has, all right, stand on one leg. You got a parry, rake, chamber your knee, kick, land. You got all this complication. And I need you to start adding that action to it. Scoop kicks, triple counts and everything out there. You're not at that stage yet. The beauty of what Kenpo's done is systematically builds skill sets going through. The extensions start filling these gaps. You start recognizing it. The thing I look at extensions for, I'll borrow Chris for this one, just a real quick example, is for, and I've had this dialogue before, it's like, well, the Kenpo will work. I'm like, yeah, the Kenpo will work, but Mr. Soto, if I'm working with you and you train law enforcement, I can guarantee that I'm going to have a challenge getting straight lines on you. You're going to pick up 1, 2, 3, 4 strikes, and you might force me to my 5th place because you're constantly moving, you're assessing yourself, and
right.
You're a very sophisticated fighter, Kenpoist as well. So it's those two things out there. The extensions start teaching us, what do they do? If they pick something else up, can I continue? What's my next action from there? The challenge becomes people think the sequence, I've got to get every piece of the sequence in.
Right.
And they go, the sequence and it doesn't work. I'm like, no, but they're teaching microcosms of timing. So if you break them down to like 3s and 4s, you got microcosm of timing. So I'll use trigger salute as an example. Come over here, Chris. So if Chris pushes and I fire, this would be your base. I'm training.
Right.
If Chris knows to pick up my hand on the way in there, because he earned a black belt, I should be able to hit him in the head that easy. None of our students should after a yellow belt. They should start moving. Their hands will want to do it, but we tend to stand here and just let them fire. So when he fires and I fire, he's already cleared it. I'm moving already through. So positional recognition, he clears it. I drop the catch. He's turned. I fire. He's got range here. Turn now right back over here. So slow. So as he cleared my hand, it sends it into orbit, and I'm into my next strike. He's trying to close gap out here, so I snap my weapons out. Positional recognition, hit and fire. Now I want to be on top of him. So if I'm on this position, he could roll in there, so I need to stop it. So this would be, the extensions start teaching this really dynamic, tight energy. down. That's going right back up. They don't want to wreck his nose here, but you got that nice tiny eye right off that spot. 2, 3, hit. He's picked it up, grab my wrist. Microcosm of this one. It's a flapping elbow. It comes up, pings the chin. But it's an elbow break. Or not an elbow break, but a break of the grip. So as I come up, I break the grip. Then I cut it down. So each of the extensions teaches us a position, what they can do, both for the dummy and for the attacker.
Right.
The defense. So that's what I really see the extensions when they're explored. Once you got sequence down there, start pressing them. What does that reveal? And then you've done what I think Parker wanted us to do anyhow, is to get into the exploration of motion. What are the choices, possibilities? These are explorations into movement.
Right, because
So, yeah.
one of the things we hear is that you're never going to be able to do a full technique, probably less the extension. But yeah, but they don't. It doesn't work that way. I mean, I agree with you.
Yeah, and that if you do need the full extension, then the nice things that the part of the dialogue that doesn't happen is the extensions take us back to the root. I keep pointing over here because all my techniques up here. Your yellow up through green are the root techniques. And notice we have extensions for those. It forces us to visit the gold of our system. And then you make that gold even better because now you understand energy. You've gone well past it and you're coming back with a black belt skill looking at it. And then you've got this timing of a black belt extension added to it. So you can start filling these doorways. You start finding organic motion out there. And I think that's really kind of an important piece out there as far as why we do extensions. Are you going to get a hole in out there? I'd suggest if you need one, you either got the most exceptional fighter on the other end, or if you want, this is kind of an idea, both of you over here. The extensions are taught as one sequence on a person, technique full extension. If I change it out just slightly, secondary tech, so he pushes, smooth, just showing 2, 3, I got my hit, and Michael comes, I might pick that up here instead. So I'm using my extension and splitting it off on somebody else.
Beautiful.
I don't need to keep the extension on the same person. I should have done some damage, but I can immediately drop it. Yeah, bring it up. 1, 2, 3 shots out there. I can return back to Chris if I need it. I can just roll it out. He's got that flash drop. There's a shot. So I can, again, parse my extensions from other things. So
Love it. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
They drove all the way 2 miles each.
Amazing, amazing. So we have some more comments here. Jerry Ramos dice, no hablo y no entiendo inglés. But let's see, let me translate. But it's understandable that the kinesthetic part of what you're doing, when two titans talk about a subject and share their knowledge with clear examples. It's an honor to be able to meet Maestro Scott Gonzalez through this media. And Maestro Soto, I had the honor to know you in the certification in Sonora from Macuspana, Tabasco. From Tabasco. Wow, nice.
One of the beauties, I think, again, is the Kenpo language. We do have a common language.
Right.
We're speaking out. There's a brotherhood that happens. That's why I see our communities really, the old animosities seem to be dropping. When I was coming up there was a lot of that happening. But there seems to be, the martial artists I've met are such great men, such great women, such great martial artists. And they're starting to let that go. And then we see these human beings that you want to be on the mats with, you want to share the kindred spirit with. I just got to meet you for the very first time, which I'm sad on that. But again, our paths had to find a place to cross. And it was this time. It wasn't before, it wasn't after, it was now, to get to share this with you and have these dialogues. And this is just a weekend there. I feel like we're already establishing a friendship out there. But it comes to the unity of Kenpo. If we didn't have Kenpo to extract that, you and I would never meet. The gentleman that spoke to us would not have met. I don't understand a single thing that I'm saying.
Yep.
But understand that piece, this Kenpo language, which can bond us across all these countries.
Much appreciated. Yes. Pure Technique says, good morning, masters. Good morning, Pure Technique. Damien says, regarding those neutral bows, I was enjoying the lack of them. Your wonderful freedom of expression is suppressed when they are overused, he says.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. It's I'll play with it because he has such pristine technique and form. It's just awesome to see, and he knows I kind of play out right on the edges of those things out there. I don't need the full thing, but yeah, it's want to show I can do them if I need to.
Beautiful, beautiful. Angela says, so position recognition is also moving in your gaseous phase of the system, yeah? Where you are no longer moving in ideal, but how the attack has you move.
Yes, and you could combine, like we talk a lot about the ways I teach you, the contraction to the expansion. We're just working this last night in class that you get really tight in the explosion, but when I'm tight, you know, and I got things wrapped around me, I can expand coming up there. So the gas does it. It fills those places out there, and it's getting dummies that will stay in there. It's also recognizing that I need to not blow them up so bad so that they will practice these positions and you can start seeing them. But yes, you've well said there with a gas the stage.
Right. Marcel de Jong says, nice work, Scott. Hey, Marcel.
Yeah.
Nice to see you here, sir.
Great young man.
Says, the world between the end of the basic and the beginning of the extension is in itself a world that isn't taught. It needs to be found.
Yes. That transition out there. How do you snap into that piece?
All right. Kenpo Art says, excellent explanation of borrowing and blending.
Excellent. Thank you.
Anthony Angulo says, a lot of gold there.
Let's print some coins.
Okay. Catherine Sumter says, fantastic demonstration, by the way. May I ask, what is your belt color progression to black? Is it subjective and at the discretion of the instructor school owner? I ask because Taekwondo has become that way, she says.
No, I think it's pretty consistent with Kenpo. It is somewhat to the discretion of the instructor, but we work rank from white, yellow, orange, purple, blue, green. But we have very specific information embedded in those areas. And the instructors, for mine, I'm sure Mr. Soto has the same, but once the student has mastered those parts out there, then we see it. And it's tested over time. It's not just, okay, I got him down there, show me the next move. But it's understanding, though, can I press you? Is it beyond just the sequence stage? And those are things we look at. So each one has a category of material you need to know. And once you've seen, you've caught that, then that's where the promotions happen. And the promotions are through testing usually. So you got to get out there, you got to show your skill sets, you got to show mistakes, how to recover from mistakes here.
Right.
Yeah. And that'd be the subjective part is, you know, I'm not sure. Some instructors will push everything really hard. Some will, you know, that'll be the blend out there, and depending on who you choose for instructors.
Beautiful. Anthony says Mike and Chris are both excellent, dedicated martial artists.
Shout out to the boys.
Nice, nice. Jerry Ramos says muchas gracias and success. Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you.
Richard Matthews says Damien Abbott, interesting, says. Okay. Pure Technique says, sorry?
I was saying, because Damien talked about those pockets. Like, I like I do a lot of exploration on the pockets, these little microcosms in the techniques. That's where I think the real growth as you get further along is, rather than just repeat sequence, is looking at that piece and identifying what it's teaching. And that keeps changing as you go through time. It's like great Shakespeare poetry. You know, understand as a 20-year-old, 30-year-old, 40-year-old, each time it's layers and layers of difference in there. So,
yeah, it's a never-ending process, right?
Yeah, that's what I imagine. That's why. How long have you been in the art now?
Me?
Yeah.
In Kenpo, I started in Kenpo in '94.
And it's kept you interested, and it's.
Oh yeah.
Myself, I'm looking at 30 years. I'm looking at Grandmaster Larry Tate. I'm just his absolute enthusiasm still. He's the young lad. He's older, but all that layer of skill out there, it still keeps revealing things to me. It's like that for myself. I don't go a class where I don't learn something, and it's always my time. If I'm teaching, it's my time. I want to learn something as I'm teaching. I want to dummy these guys right now. I got to learn and practice some more. What did I find? More stuff. So it's an art that really keeps revealing.
Right, right. I mean, every time I reread the Infinite Insight books, which I do at least once a year or twice a year, and every time I reread them, I find something new, find something different that I didn't see before, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah,
So yeah,
right. You've gone through this process, so your skill sets, the brain just picking these things up there. Yeah, again, Parker, great Shakespearean writing.
right, right. Pure Technique says, I modify my Kenpo with Wing Chun, and the sensitivity of that art helped me fill the gaps of dead space. Nice.
Yeah, just some of the bracelets on there. So the heavy grab, the muscle grab versus a bracelet, just the snap and the release. Those things right from Wing Chun. It's I like it. There's so many traps in there. It's our arts borrowed from so many different arts, and Parker was taking what I think was in his guys. It wasn't just him. It was this core, and he kept exploring. He surrounded himself with the best, but he was taking the best of each of these arts and put them in there. I think part of the challenge we've had with time is we've lost some of the decoders. What's the decoding factor? What's the key ingredient for the parts that are in? And that takes time to explore, and not everyone's willing to do that. But it's those are things that I'm constantly seeking. What are the decoders for those things? Wing Chun, all these traps. Once I studied Wing Chun Do with a friend of mine out here, and he's studying under Sifu de Milo. But seeing all these traps in there, we went through technique after technique. In my mind, he was just showing his stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm like, man, he is borrowed all through this stuff. And it was just layers of stuff, other arts in there. So
Beautiful. Pure Techniques. I started in '95 with Mike Pick. He says, my dad toured Vietnam with Mike Pick. That's how I got introduced to him. Wow. Okay. Kudos to them.
Sense of all. It works down in degrees of intensity from there.
Sensei Emmett says, good morning. Good morning, Sensei. Okay. Angela says, love that Shakespeare analogy. It's so true. It's different. The older you get, the more you find. Excellent. And
Yes.
the more handsome we get, Angela. Yes. El guapo here. Ha.
Dynamic.
Kim Dahl says, try bring on the mat with Mr. Planas, always new info. Right.
Yes.
Right. Okay, sir. So if somebody wants to find you through social media or there, can you tell everybody how to find you?
Yes. I've got a website, desertdragonsaz.com. So that's one of them. Facebook, Desert Dragons Kenpo. That's another one out there. So I got a nice Facebook. We roll things up there, either through Desert Dragons. If you look myself up there, Scott Gonzalez. I post videos on both my personal one and my studio one. And then you also got a YouTube channel if that's something you like as well. So we're working to get a series of videos up there. And what I'm doing, we've been working this project, Chris and Michael and myself, is recording the base piece of the technique out there, but then dropping in gems. So you'll see the black and white is the way, more the written version out there. And then the color versions, when we drop them out there, are more the gems, alternative choices, things like that. Just that it's not so much the right answer. It's just other answers to choose and start steering your brain to look outside of this conformity. And the conformity really helps you understand it, and it's necessary. But at a certain point, you want to start going, oh, what else I can do with this stuff? Oh, thank you, sir. Yeah, that's right there, the color and the black and white. So we just started that recent project out there. You see some of my seminars up there, little clips from those, a few of the callings out there, just great energy people out in Exeter. And Damien has just an incredible draw from people throughout the world. I think, if I wasn't mistaken, 60-70% of them were for different countries. And then the other block from England itself. So thank you, Mr. Soto. I appreciate you putting that up or sharing
Right.
it.
That's your Facebook right there.
Fantastic. I think I'll be talking to you on how to migrate this so well.
And there's the website. Great. Amazing. Well, thank you very much. This was really beneficial. I got to learn a lot. I always like that. I like learning. I think you have an amazing understanding of Kenpo, and I really I'm very happy that we got you to teach some stuff. Thank you, because you're teaching it for free. So I appreciate that.
An honor.
We do this for a living, so So thank you for your time. Thank you for your knowledge and wisdom. And it's nice to see a Kenpo colleague doing his stuff, and I can tell that you are passionate about the art, and that's what we need. We need more people sharing, positive passion about Kenpo and stuff. Angela says, "Yeah, baby, el guapo, yes." Kenpo Art says, "Thank you very much from Acton, California." Thank you. Pure Technique says, "Best way to start the day, discussing knowledge with the masters." Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you as well. Richard Matthews, excellent, Scott, top man. Wow. Well, sir, anything you want to add? We're out of time. So.
Gentlemen, as you know, your Kenpo doesn't grow unless you got people that are dynamic, that challenge you. These two gentlemen back here will challenge me with questions, challenge me with thought, action, higher level questions. So constantly keep me seeking, keep me places to work with. Marcel, I miss you as well, man. Really, really do. So I look forward to seeing you this year. But I wanted to get a little shot. Come to the center, son. I'll remove myself from the screen. Each studio has people that help elevate it, and these two are absolute gold here. So my thank you two.
Thank you both. Thank you for being on the show. Much appreciated. And thank you for helping your maestro.
Thank you. Great interviewer. I really appreciated your time today.
Thank you, sir. Well, just before we go, I just want to remind everybody that next Saturday, we're going to have Maestro Grandmaster Larry Tatum on our open mat talks on the show. Same time, 11 Mountain Time. We're going to have a nice interview with him and a nice talk. Okay. So don't miss it. And we still have more comments. Wow, a lot of people commenting fast. Love the demos. We'll love to see more excellent professor of the art to do it on here. Thank you. So it's senior professor, basically, right? Anthony Angulo, excellent. I know you don't care. I know, but if we're going to get technical, okay. Nassim says, awesome. Have a fantastic day. Stay safe. Well, sir, thank you very much. And thank you, Chris and Mike. Thank you all. I really appreciate this. And I look forward, we're not that far away. I'm like 5.5 hours away from you. But right now, I cannot go across the border. Still close because of the pandemic thing. So as soon as it's up, I will go and pay you a visit. I would love to go there, see your beautiful studio.
As well.
You have a very, very nice place. You have amazing students. You're the man. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
Take care.
Thanks again. And thank everybody that comment today.
Yeah, thank all you guys. I really, really appreciate coming on there. Your personality draws them here, so it's great to see that.
No, this was all you. This was all you, the gentleman of Kenpo. Thank you, sir. You have a great day. Thank you, everybody. Take care.